So, hello everyone, welcome to this course or just a video uh, in how to create a game in Godot. It's a first game in Godot. So, yeah, we'll be talking about tile maps, tile map layers, and animations. We'll be talking about animations, also player movements, and audio signals, scene management, kinematic. We don't have kinematic body 2D in Godot 4, but we have character body 2D. We'll be talking about area 2D. A lot of things are happening over here. We are creating a game. So let me just show you the game, what type of game we'll be creating in this small video or in this course. It's not a small video. We'll be creating this game, so we need to collect all of the coins before the timer runs out. So you guys can actually create a maze out of it and then challenge your friends if you want. So you need to complete the maze in the given time frame. If you cannot complete, then you might lose, but if you can complete it in just a millisecond also, you will win. Okay, so yeah, if you lose, let me just show you how will you lose. So if you couldn't collect it in a specific time, then let's say you are just roaming around and you cannot solve this maze. This is just a simple maze. You can just make some advanced levels out of it. We have a score counter here and a timer running over here, and yeah, we lost the game. Okay, so we actually lost the game, and yeah, you can retry it. So this is a cool game. You will be learning about all of the animation of these characters also, and a lot of things is happening. We will be using tile maps, and yeah, thank you for watching, and let's get dive into the video. So now let's get started. First thing we need to go is go on gotoengine.org, and you can download the latest version by clicking over here and download this one, not the .NET version. And as you can see, after you download it, you can extract it. And then another thing you need is assets. So I have one of this asset, and you can obviously download this one also by hitting download now. And if you want to donate, then you can donate. But if you don't want to donate and just download, then you can just download it with the help of this one. And this is by Jamie Brownhill. So yeah, shout out to him for creating such amazing assets. Okay, now after that, you let's think like you have actually extracted all of the files of Godot. You will be getting these two files in the Godot engine. If you click on this one, not the console one, then you will be getting this screen. So after that, now we need to create a new project. So click on create, and over here we can just browse, and let's say I just create a project over here, and this would be our game. Game, I'll just name it as a game. And after that, here in render, you can see we have forward plus mobile and compatibility. This is for like advanced 3D graphics, and this is for like mobile games and desktop games, and this is for like a less like web platforms. If you want to make for HTML5 games, then you can use the compatibility mode. So you might be asking, which one should I choose? If you have a nice computer, then you can go for the upper version. But if you have a normal if you don't have a Vulkan renderer, then you can go for the OpenGL ones. So yeah, this is pretty cool. You can just go for this in this project, but these are also pretty cool to know. Okay, so for version control metadata, we'll be going for none because I won't be using Git for this project. Now create and edit, let's wait for a while. And Godot engine is super fast, so we didn't have to wait a lot. Okay, so the first thing you will see is this screen. You can obviously change the compatibility mode from right over here, like forward plus mobile. You can just change it from here. But if you don't want to change it over here, then you can go into the 2D. Okay, so after you have gone into the 2D screen, then you can see we have created a pretty little screen. So it's just a pretty screen, and now we need to create game over here. Okay, so what we can do is, first thing is, let's just go into the project settings, and after we have gone into project settings, we have a lot of settings right over here. But for now, let's go for the window, and here in viewport width, we can go for uh, for some other view for things like some other resolutions, because we are creating a pixel art game. So yeah, it won't need a lot of resolution, so we can just put it on a small screen and it might still work. So now let's now you might be asking which type of resolution should we use. So yeah, now we can go for, let's say, if we have 320 by 180. Okay, so it's a pretty low resolution, and in the mode you can choose the viewport. Okay, and aspect ratio, keep it, as you can see, it's now pretty small. It's pretty small. So if I put my icon over here, it's pretty big for that specific icon. Okay. So it's a keyboard has had become pretty small. So you can choose any size you want. If you want to make it very small, then you can go for that one. But I would be going for 640 by 360, I guess. Just doubling the resolutions for now. And yeah, it's now doubled out. Okay. So we have a double resolution. Now, another thing we need to do is from that asset, we need to obtain TileMap. So what is TileMap? TileMap is for creating a level. So if you extract that assets also from which one? From the one which I just showed you. You can go for 16 by 16 and go into, let's say, like Tileset, and you can go for the new one and just drag it and drop it right over here. And as you can see, if I drop it over here, now it's you can see how our game will appear. If you just run it, then it will not work right now because we haven't created any scene. Now we will be creating a scene. So let's say let's go over here, and creating a scene is just click into the scene, that's all. And you can just name it as level, or we are creating just a level. So yeah, level, and hit after you created a level, you can now drop this thing, and you can just save it with the help of Control S, and then you can save the scene. So scenes are tscn. So you can, if you save it, then you can see our scene has appeared over here. Okay, now if I run it and I need to select a scene, so I will select this scene to run. And if I run it, as you can see, this is our screen, and it looks pretty good for now. Yeah. But if you see, if we start zooming over here, it's like very blurry. If you don't want that type of things, then go into project settings. And if you go into rendering and textures, you can go for nearest and close it, and now it's not that much blurry. Okay, so that's like that. Okay, now we have done some of the things to our screen. Now I will just delete this one for now. Okay, now what we can do is we can just make our level. First thing is we need to make our level. To make a level, we'll be using a tile layer. Okay, so this is new in Godot 4. So yeah, tile map layer. We would be using tile maps, but it's, if you see over here, it is saying deprecated. So we'll be using tile map layer. Now once you make the tile map layer, let's say you, this is like, it's a background or something like that, back, or let's say it's like grass for house. So I just named it as grass, and here in tile set, as you can see, we need to give it a tile set. So click over here, click on new tile set, and now we can see we have something like this. Now after you have clicked on tile set and something like this appears over here, then you will see another tab appear at down, and if you click on tile set, you can drag this tile set which we would be using for creating levels over here. Okay, so yeah, you can just scroll to zoom, and just hit the middle mouse button, the scroll mouse button, to move in these workspaces. If you want to move up, move in the main workspace also you can do, and in the tiles also you can do. Okay, so after that, now this is only for grass, so I will be going into tile map directly. I just loaded this one, and I will be going into tile map and hit this one, and I will be just using this rectangle tool, and then make a very big rectangle for these tiles. And as you can see, it just painted whole screen with this. And if I want some, let's say this grass, then I can just put some grass. Now you might be asking, how did it actually knew how did it actually knew just to make a square of these specific things? Because if you see in Tileset, if you click on Tileset, we are giving it tile size of 16 by 16 pixels. So it just cropped out the 16 by 16 pixels for all of these tiles. Because we are using assets of 16 by 16, as you can see, we are using assets of 16 by 16. We were able to use it without any specific modifications. Okay, so if you are creating horror games, then you might need to be a little bit thinking about that also. So if you want, you can just add this also, like you can just paint it randomly into the screen. As you can see, I'm just painting it randomly, or you can see it has a place random tile, and in scattering you can just increase the scattering, and then with the help of this one you can just do like this, and it will just start painting tiles over there. Scattering, let's say like if I have something like 10, then as you can see it just randomly places tiles all over the screen. So I will just use the scattering mode for now. Sorry for that. And scattering 10, and if I put it like this, now my screen is full of these random blobs. If I want for this one also, I can do this. Okay, pretty cool. Now if I run it, mm, it's pretty small, but if you make it bigger, then you can see all of the grass has scattered all over our screen. Okay, pretty cool. Now, if you want some flowers, you can obviously drop some flowers over here. Just turn off this randomizer, and you can just drop some flowers if you want. But I think it is just removing the green part also. Maybe we need to do it in another layer, so we'll be looking at that later. So now if I want to add some trees or some like side plates, let's do that also. Okay, so this is the grass, this is the bottom layer. Let's say like this is our bottom layer. Now we want to, if you start try to paint this one, then as you can see it just removes the green and just paints the transparent version of that one. That's we don't actually need. So we actually need to create it in another layer. Okay, so this one, if you are getting these types of problem, then we can create another layer over here. So over here, now let's go for tilemap layer, and this would be above. Okay, above, I will just name it as above, sorry, above layer, and do the same process over here in tilemap. Create a new tilemap, and then in tileset you can just drag it and drop it over here. Click on yes, and now what we can do is in tilemap you can actually pin these things. Now it will just appear above that layer. Now if I try to run it and make it full screen, as you can see it is appearing above that layer. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now what we can do is go into tilemap and use this one also, and you can obviously create a line of these things. Like that, or what we can do is we can just put this one also. And then like this up to here, put this one. So it's like a little bit like using MS Paint. If you have used Microsoft Paint, I think everybody have used Microsoft Paint once in their life. So yeah. Okay, pretty cool. Mm, so for that, now after I finish my printing, then I can just hit the run and see. As you can see, all of these things are appearing outside, are appearing over there. Okay, pretty cool. Now Now we have actually created those specific labels. Now if I want to create, if I want to insert, let's say, dispatch over here, over there, then I can do that also. But for now, what we will do is we need to insert some trees. But if you try to insert trees, then you have to do it like one by one like this. We don't want to do it like that. So what we'll do is go into Tileset, and here, if you see in this, we have eraser. So we will just erase the selection of these trees. As you can see, now it is not selected. Now untick the eraser. After that, hit space. Sorry, not say space. Hit shift. As you can see, it is saying hold shift to create big tiles. So shift, and I created a big tile. Okay. So likewise that you can also do for this one. This one also, hold shift, and yeah, like that. Now if you click on this one, then you can drop your um go into tile map. Let's select the paint tool, and we can paint it with the help of this one. So let me say I have trees over there, trees over there. I can just paint it wherever I want in the screen. Okay, for my game. Okay, so like this, if I run it and make it full screen, as you can see, trees are appearing pretty cool, right? And now I can also choose this tree, this long tree also, and put it somewhere around here, here, and here. I'm just putting it randomly, guys. Please just ignore me. Okay, so yeah, you can also put it randomly or just use your mind also. I'm not using my mind. Okay, so as you can see, we have created a very nice label, guys. So this is our pretty nice label for us. Now, after that, what we can do is we have created grass, and we also have created its album. Okay, so now in here, as you can see, we have other things also which we could actually use. But for now, in the above, we need to put something known as collider. But we'll be talking about colliders in a while. While we need to have a player, we don't have any player till now. So how can I create player? Is go into the level and hit plus, and we'll be using character body 2D. We had kinematic body 2D in Godot 3, but now we have character body 2D. Now if you use the character body 2D, as you can see, it is saying some error, and we have a character body 2D over here. Let's say this is our player, so I will just name it as a player. Okay, now, as you can see, we don't have anything inside our player. So we actually need to find our player. Now let's go here in the assets, back into the assets, go into 16 by 16. Now this time we will be going to sprites, and let's go for the new sprites. And if you see, if I just zoom in, then you can see mm, these minecart characters, something like this, and just leave those things. We just need this and this. Okay, idle and walk. So we can just drag it and drop it right over here. So we have got these animation. These are also animations. So now we also need to learn a little bit about animations, guys. Don't worry about it, we'll be going through it. So we just need to put an animation inside this player object. As you can see, this player is over here, so we don't want this player to be over here. So this is our player, but we don't have anything for that player. If we run it also, nothing appears in the screen for the player. Nothing appears in the screen for the player. So now what we can do here is we can add an animated sprite. Okay, animated sprite 2D. So if I go into animated sprite 2D, what is animated sprite 2D? So if you want to create some animations for your character, then you need to have animated sprite 2D. We also have animation players, which is a little bit advanced version of animated sprite, but it's pretty cool. Okay, so once you have clicked into animated sprite 2D, it's inside player. As you can see, guys, you need to remember that Godot is an node based game development tool. So as you can see, inside label we have everything, and inside player we have animated sprite. So if you have animated sprite, let's say, not inside the player, then it might create some problem. So you just need to put it inside the player. If you put it inside above, then yeah, something else would happen. But you need to put it inside player. Okay, so once you have placed it inside player, mm, then you can just go for the crease idle, because we are in idle position, we are not moving anywhere. So yeah, idle position, and then we can go into animation, and inside the sprites frames we have to create click on new sprite frames. Okay, so this would be our idle animation. So I would just name it as idle idle. So idle means just staying idle animation. So once I name the animation over here, I can click on this one. So I can use my sprite seed. So let's say this idle is our sprite seed. Okay, so I just clicked into that sprite sheet. Now, as you can see, there's a little bit problem. Now we have to create a grid. So we have to see how many characters we have. One, two, three, four, five, six. Six characters in a row. And let's say one, two, three, four characters in a column. So for row, let's give it like six. And for column, we have four. Okay, pretty cool. And if you want to give it different size, then you can also give it different size. Okay, now the first thing we need to do is we need to see how this animation works. As you can see here, the character is looking towards us in this animation. Yeah, if you see from left to right, character is looking towards us. And if you see in this animation, character is looking towards left, and in this one towards right, and in this one character is looking towards up. So now let's select this first one. Just hold it and you can just select it, or you can just select it manually if you want also. You can just do like hold it and drag it like this. Okay, so this is an animation which is facing towards us. So when you click add 6 frames, and as you can see, our character is looking towards us. Now what I want you to do is go into player first before doing anything else, and click on this one. This means now these are grouped. So if I try to move one, then both of them are moving. So you need to do this, because if you don't do this, then the character would not be working properly. Okay, so you need to attach both of these node to a single node. Now after that, what we need, okay, now if we try to, as you can see, we have something known as autoplay on load. If you click on this, then the animation will start playing whenever we load our game. So let's click, or let's run our game. And as you can see, our character is playing our idle animation. That's pretty cool. The character is facing towards us. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now, after that, if you want to make this character also big, let's say like you wanna scale this character, then you can obviously scale this character also. You can use scale tool over here, like this. Oh, I'm just scaling it randomly, and if you see over here, now the character is a little bit big. Okay, but I think I like the smaller version of this character. But the screen is pretty big for him. The ground is pretty big for him. That's pretty good. That's pretty okay. So now after that, it is still having an error. As you can see, this is saying it doesn't have any shape. It doesn't have any collision. So what is collision, you might be asking if you are new to game development. Then collision is giving something to this character so it can collide with each other. So what do I mean by that? I need to give a collision, and then I will show you. So for that, I will be using collision sec 2D. And as you can see, it is also inside player. It is not inside animated sprite. So it is not inside animated sprite. It is inside player. So inside player, I have two nodes. Don't put it like this. Just put it inside the player. Okay, now after you have done this, click on that and go into the inspector, and then you can just choose a circle, whatever you want. For me, I would be going with capsule, and you will be getting this type of screen, and then you can just circle the player. Okay, pretty cool. Now we have done a lot of things right now, and yeah, if I try to run it, and make it big, and my character is moving and it has a collider now. Okay, so we need to have colliders so it can collide with other objects here. Now, before start colliding, we need to do one more thing, guys. That is, we need to move this character. So when clicking WASD or when just typing something in, then we need to move this character. So what we need to do is we need to do some scripting. Okay, scripting is a little bit advanced. Maybe it might be a little bit advanced for those who haven't coded in their life, but you can just follow along if you want. Okay, so when you click on player, we need to give some uh, interactions for this player. We need to program this player. So just right click here and you can just go here and we have attach the script. Now we can just put like player.gd. Okay, so we will be using GDScript. You can obviously use other scripts also, but we will be using GDScript because we don't have anything else. So when you click that, then this screen appears like this. Now that's pretty cool. If I hit run, it gives me script. So I will hit run. My character just fell down. If I show you guys again, my character is falling down. So yeah, this script is not exactly the script we want. So we'll be writing script manually. We won't be using this auto-generated script. So I'll be removing all of these things, except I will be putting this underscore physics process right over here and giving it something like pass over here. So just empty all of the script and just make it remain this much only. Okay, now we need to move that character. What I was telling is we need to move that character. So how can we move that character is we have added a script to this character because we have this script icon. Now we need to move that character. So for that we need to create a variable. So let's say like input vector or input. Let's just name it as an input, and we have something known as vector2 dot 0. So I'm just creating a vector 2 with 0 value. So what do I mean by vector 2? Vector 2 means which have x and y direction. So like in 2D graphics, we have x direction which goes around here and we have y direction which goes up and down. So x is for horizontal and y is for vertical. That's all we have. But in 3D, if you see, we have horizontal, vertical, and something with the help of depth. So we have depth in 3D. So we have x, y, and g in 3D. So we will be using vector 3 in 3D graphics. Okay, because we are doing it in 2D, so we need to create a variable called input using vector2.0. Okay, pretty cool. Now what I will do is I will just modify this input vector, input dot x. It has both of the direction, it has x and y. So if I do input dot x and do something like plus equals to 1, it is this most simple script. So input x plus equals to 1, that means it is 0 by default. Let me just show you guys something like this. Let me go over here. It is like let me just show you over here. Okay, so let's say like we have x and y direction here in our screen. Okay, so x and y direction by default that position was right over here. But if you want to move that character into a specific position, then we need to give its x and y coordinates. Okay guys, you need to remember that this we need to give its x and y coordinates. So because we need to gradually increase the coordinate like this, gradually increase the coordinate, we will be increasing it by 1 plus 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 1, and it just keeps on going, keeps on going, keeps on going, and it just keeps on increasing its x and y with plus 1. As you can see, plus 1. So it just keeps on increasing x and both x and y direction with plus 1. So now let's see how we can do that. So I'm just increasing by plus 1. We need to give x plus equals to 1. So this means we are increasing it by plus 1. And let's give it for y also. Okay, After that, we have made the variable, but where do we use this variable? We need to use this variable in, where do you think we need to use this variable? We need to use this variable in, obviously, our velocity. Okay, so what do you mean? You might be asking, what is this velocity? If you go to some documentation, then you can see, let's say, like, velocity is a property. If you open it, then it means, velocity really means, as it is saying, like, give me the give me the position of this guy. Okay, give me the position of this guy. Okay, guys, so, like, give me the, how much, with how much speed do I move towards that direction. So for x, I will be just using input.x, and for y, I will be giving the value, the updated value of odds. Okay, so this physics process runs each and every frame, and this is mostly for physics processes. So this runs each and every frame for your game. Now if you run this one, then nothing is happening because we haven't called our one very important function, that is move and slide. Okay, so after that, after we have updated our velocity, we just need to do is move and slide. So what's happening over here is we are creating a vector to called input with x and y. We are just gradually increasing it by 1. After that, we are assigning that increased value towards our velocity property. Velocity also have x and y property. Okay, velocity also have x and y property. After you modify the property of velocity, you need to run move and slide, which means it will move the character. Okay, so now let's see. And as you can see, this character is moving slowly, very slowly. So we need to actually give a variable called speed. So I will just make a variable called speed over here. Let's say I will just give it 100 for now. And if I just multiply this input by speed, then instead of instead of increasing it by 1, I am in multiplying it by 100. So I am increasing it by 100. Okay, so I'm just adding it by 100. Okay, guys, simple as that. Now I'm just multiplying it by 100, and let's see how it works. And as you can see, our character is going, okay, that's pretty cool. So I'm not clicking in any button, but our character is going out of the screen. So what we will do is, now we will be taking the input from our keyboard and do some modification. Okay, so for left and right, what I will do is, uh, we have something known as if input. We also have input, and if you see, we have some function called isActionPressed, and inside isActionPressed we have something like UI up, let's say left, we UI left. So what does this mean is, whenever you click on the left button, whenever, if this is returning true, then obviously do something. Okay, so if this is returning true, then do this. Okay, if I hit the left button in my keyboard, then it should move left. Okay, simple as that. And let me just remove this one for now. Okay, Hmm, let's see. Now nothing is happening, but I whenever I hit left, as you can see, the character is moving each and every one. Yeah, right. Pretty cool. So it is just moving left. Okay, so is action pressed is works like that. Now after that, we have created for left. Now let's create it for right. UI underscore right. UI underscore right. I will be just using adding the variable. In left, I am just subtracting it by 100. So as you can see, if I have to go back there, then I need to subtract it by 100. Or if I want to go here, then I need to add by 100. Same happens to the y direction. Okay, so like this. Now let's go for up and down also. UI up. And for UI up, what I will do is I will do for Y, and because UI up is above, so I will be giving it minus. Okay, up is minus. So, and after that, for UI down, +1. Okay, now if I run it, then make it full screen. And as you can see, I can move my character up, down, side by side, all by just clicking in the button. Okay, like that. Pretty cool, isn't it? So now once you have done that, but you are using the arrow buttons in your keyboard, but instead of using arrow buttons, you may want to use WASD. If you want to use WASD, then go into project settings, and here there are a lot of things going around here. Input map, sorry, input map. Inside input map, uh we can see filter by name. Okay, we can see by clicking in so built-in action, and as you can see, we were using UI left, and it was assigned with left key in our keyboard, but we can just assign the new one also over here. Like for left, I will be using A, so A, and for right, I would be using D, and for up, I would be using W, and for down I will be using S. Now after doing that, if I run it, now I can use my WASD key. Okay, so I can easily use my WASD keys to move this guy. So now what's happening over here is there's a little problem, because I need to keep on hitting my keyboard. As you can see, I cannot just hold it because I'm using is action just pressed. This is not the one we need to use. Is action pressed. If you use this one, then we don't need to keep on hitting our keyboard button. Let's run it, and as you can see, I can just move left, right, up, down. Pretty cool. Now our character is moving pretty accurately. But there's a problem. It is moving across the trees, it is moving across the fences or the walls, okay, or bushes. We don't want that to happen. So what we will do is we need to give colliders to these things. These things also need to have colliders. So let's go and give colliders for them. So for that, we need to go into above. Now to give colliders to them, go into the tile set. Now after that, you can obviously zoom in. Uh, in above, you can just go into physics, and over here you can say we have collision enable. But if you go into tile set and let's say physics layer, you can just add an element for the physics layer. Once you have added an element, if you go back into the tile set inside the paint, if you go into property editor and inside the physics layer, you can see we can now give collider to these specific things. So if I want to give collider for this guy, then I can give it like this. If I want to add points, then I can just click the button and just give it. Okay, so as you can see, I just made a collider, which is the blue one as the one which is a collider, which will be collided. And in this one, I can also give it like this. Pretty cool. And just pen this one. Just click this one, drag and make points for however you want. And after that, click once again. Click this one. You can remove these points if you don't want. Just put it over there and use it like this. Okay. Do this one. You can just go above like this, not above the screen. And over here and over here and over here and over here, and just keep it for this one, and likewise do for this one. Okay, and for this one also I would be just giving it like this, and for this over here and like this. And as you can see, we have got a bluish line for our colliders. So we have got collider for this. Technically, if you go ahead and run it, we have added collider for the fences. Now if you go here over there, then you cannot go outside the window now, yeah, right? We have given colliders, so pretty cool. Okay, now we need to give colliders for these guys also. So now let's go ahead and do that. Go into tileset once again. Now we will be giving collider for this guy. I will just zoom it out and just remove the unnecessary points which I actually don't need. So now I can just give it like this and add additional points if I really want to make it accurate. You can also make it accurate as much as you want, like this. So just make a collider for the specific region you want it to collide. And for this one also I will do. And don't forget to paint. Okay, I just forgot to paint, and this one is also getting that same collider, but we need to delete this. Okay, now I can just work with these ones. Let me zoom in a little bit, put it over here. Mm, ah, put it over here, put it over here. Give it collider. You can also use auto tile maps, but as a beginner, using these also makes a little bit more sense. Okay, so yeah, I'll just click this one, and now this one also has collider. So I think this much is only we want colliders in. So if I run it, and as you can see now, I cannot go past through my trees or this small tree also. Okay, pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Now, I think our character is a little bit small for me. So what I will do is I will go over here, go into 2D, and then just try to make this character a little bit big. Okay, so you can go and sorry, mm, use the scale one and just scale this character, or you can just use this button also. Sorry, not this one. You can use the scale one and just hit the shift button, not the space, shift button, so it just gradually increase the aspect ratio with the help of aspect ratio. You can also then run it. Let's see how much our character has increased, and I think it's pretty good. Character is pretty big, but okay, it is okay, pretty good. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty big, but not pretty good. Can we pass from here? Yeah, we are able to pass from here. Pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Now after that, what we need to do is we have actually created all of these things, pretty cool things. Now what we need to do is what I will do is now after doing all of these things, what I can do over here is put coins. Now we are creating games. So for coin, what I will do is I would go into this site, obviously this site, and download my coin. This is from Larrett Games. Big shout out to our guys. Just keep on developing these awesome assets. And then I would just put it over here. And as you can see, it's like coin assets. So yeah. Now, once you have downloaded this, then I would extract it because I really need to extract it. I will just extract it in the same folder. Hmm. All of these inside this specific folder. So now what type of coin you guys really want to have, that depends on that. For me, really like this red one, so I'll just drop it right over here. And as you can see, we have actually got our coin also. So for coin we actually need area 2D, so I will just get the area 2D. After what I will do is um, after area 2D, I will just hit in this plus icon, and after that, I can just put the animated sprite again. Inside animated sprite, let me just name it as coin. Okay, so coin inside animated sprite. What I can do is I can create the sprite frames, which we did same for our character. I can just As you can see in default, I need to create an animation for this. So I will just click on this one. And if I start zooming in, then it has one, two, three, four, five. Five on horizontal and one on vertical. Okay, it's pretty cool. And I can just select these frames and then I can just do the autoplay thing. Okay, so I have done the autoplay thing also. Now after that, if I go into coin once again, I can add another collision for this coin also, collision shape also. So for coin also, we can use a capsule like this, like this. I think I need to make it a little bit like this. And I will just group this also and place coin wherever I want. So let's say if I press my place my coin over here, then if I run my game, then as you can see, our coin is also animating. So I can go like this and I should be able to pick up my coin. I think my character is pretty big for now. So yeah, uh, yeah, it's pretty big character. So I will just make it a little bit smaller. Okay, like this. Mhm. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I can just go ahead and grab my coin. So what we need to do now is we need to make it able to grab this specific coin. Okay, so before doing that, we need to give animation to this guy, because right now, as you can see, if we are moving also, this guy just keeps on playing that same animation where he is idling. So we need to make another animation for this guy. So let's go inside this guy and go for animated sprite. We have created an idle animation. Now let's create another animation for, let's say, left. We have left animation for left. We can just use the Chris walk and let's put it 6 and hit enter. And let's see where he is walking left. In this animation he is walking on left, so I have created the left animation. Likewise that I can create my right animation, right, and use my walk again and go here, and as you can see he is moving towards right. And let's do for up, and let's select for walk, and for up we'll be getting this one, and for down let's go for Chris walk, and this is down one. Okay, so these are all of the animations which we have right here. So we can actually play these specific animation from our script. So whenever our player is moving upward, then we need to play the up animation, then down animation, left, right, those all animations. So now in order to do that, what we can do is we actually need to instantiate this inside our script. This animated animation player inside our script. So in order to do that, what we can do is we can just use add on ready and var animated. Let me just name it as animate sprite. So this is a variable for this animate sprite, and I can just name it like, give it a dollar and just reference it like animation animated sprite 2D. Okay, I think I also have here, so I will just give its own name. So like this one would be for coin anim, and this, let's just name it as player anim 2D. Okay, pretty good. So I just renamed those. Okay, so if I go here now, I can just reference that player anim 2D right over here. So it will be ready before we can use it. Now, after we have done that, we can now do some specific things. But before doing all of those, we have a small problem right over here. If you see in our game, if you move left, right, up and down, but if you start moving diagonally, the character moves very fast, right? If you move left, right, it's pretty slow, but if you move him diagonally, if you press like up or left button, up or right button directly, or down or left, it just moves faster. So in order to fix that, we need to normalize it. So this input variable, we need to actually normalize this variable. So how we can do is input equals to input dot normalize. Okay, that's all we need to do. So it will just normalize our input. After that, only it will send it to the velocity. Simple as that. Pretty cool. Now, for animation, we need to code right over here. Okay, so first we need to do is if input is not equals to vector 0. Okay, so what do I mean by this is if our input is not vector dot 0, vector 2, sorry, vector 2 dot 0. So what I mean by this is if our input is not equals to vector 0, means if our character is not moving, if our character is moving, sorry, if our character is moving, this means if our character is moving, then we need to perform some actions, like let's say if input x input dot x is greater than 0, that means we are moving in left direction, right? If we are moving in left direction, then we can just use the animated sprite to play us animation which we created, to play our animation which is created, which was left, or greater than 0 means it's going right, so it will play right animation. What do I mean by that is if it is moving, and if we are moving on x direction, this means positive x, that means we are going in positive direction, which is right, then it will play the animation right. As you can see, right, it is playing animation right. But if I'm going backwards, it's not playing anything. So I need to do for those also. I can do something like elif, else if, elif, elif, and over here I can just do something like that. And if it is negative, if the value of x is negative, which might be in this case, that is left. Okay, so we need to play our animation left. Okay, so likewise that if let's make conditions for y also, conditions for y also. If y if it is less than 0, then it is going upwards. So up, less than 0 means negative and bigger than 0 means positive. Okay, those are some of the easy programming things down. Okay, so now let's see, let's check our animation. As you can see, our character is animating each and every frame, but if I move diagonally, then it's a little bit weird still now, but we don't have animation for those, so yeah, it just plays animation randomly. As you can see, our player is pretty cool, but when I stop, then it is still playing that animation. So what I need to do is for this, whenever I am moving, I need to perform this animation, but whenever I stop, let's say whenever I stop, that is else condition for this one. So that means when none of these things happens, then what we need to do is we need to play our idle animation. Okay, okay, idle animation, let's go. Pretty cool. Now as you can see, okay, now you can play with character, it is moving. Pretty cool. Okay, now we need to collect this coin. So yeah, now let's go into that logic. Now in order to collect that coin, we have something known as area 2D. So yeah, so now whenever our coin enters this specific region, we want it to perform some thing. So what I will do is inside this coin area 2D, what I will do is I will attach a script. So let me just attach the script coin.gd, and I have some of the things going around here. I actually don't need any of these. So what I will do is inside this coin, first what I will do is whenever I collect this coin, I want it to delete that coin. Okay, I want it to remove that coin and just disappear. Okay, so in order to do those specific things, I have to use something known as signals. Okay, for Now to use signals, I have to go into node. I'm clicking on coin and I'm going into node. And as you can see in area 2D, I have various type of signals. What I need to do is body entered. What does this body entered do is if any of these body enters into this specific coin, then we have to perform something. So I will double click in that. And what I will do is I will connect it back to coin itself. So I will connect it to coin. So whenever something is happening to this coin, then it will run this function. Okay, pretty cool. Okay, whenever something is running to this coin, then it will run that function. So what I will do right now over here is I will use some a function called queueFree. So what does it do is I will remove all of these things which I really don't need. So what am I doing is if something enters into the body of this area, then it will delete itself. That means it will queue free itself. So this is how you use signals. So whenever something enters into the body, then it will launch this function. Then we can see it will delete itself. Okay, that's it. So yeah, it just deletes itself. Okay. So this is how you can program this one. Now, in our screen, we don't have anything that display any information. So that's pretty sad because we want to have a score which shows the how many coins enters into that body. So we want a score meter also. So in order to put that score meter, we want a level. So in order to put the level, I'm putting it in the main node. So label, and as you can see, the level is right over here, and I can double click that level and just let's say like score for us, and go into my inspector and just write score of this level, like this. The resolution is pretty low because we were doing it with the help of the we just reduced the resolution. I just duplicated the score. Okay, so I just duplicated the score. Why I duplicated the score? So I will show you. So one is score level and another score is, if I just let me okay. So if I put it over here, this one will store the value of our number. So by default it is 0. Okay, so I have two boxes for these two scores. Now I can actually create a node over here, node, okay, and let's say score, and put both of those inside this. Okay, inside this score node. So what does this node thing does is it doesn't do anything. It just I'm using this node just to store it in a proper manner. Okay, so now if I run it, then I should be able to see my score also. Score is also pretty over here. So whenever I collect this coin, I want this score to be updated. So in order to do that, what I can do is first thing is I will just put the score over here. I can go into the score, not the score level, into the score, and attach a script to this one also. I can click this button also in order to attach script. So I will just do score counter. So it looks good. And I will just remove all of these. Now what I will do is I will go back to the coin, as you can see the coin we created, and go into node and go into body inter once again and connect this one, but this time we are connecting it to score. Okay, we are connecting it to the score. So whenever something enters into that coin, whenever the player enters into that coin or something which has collision, then what we want to do is we want to make a variable here. Let's say like I have a variable called score and its value is 0 by default. Then what I want to do is I want to increase the value of that score by 1. Okay, so whenever something increase in something goes inside that body, then the variable of score will be increased by 1. And what I can do is I can do another thing, that is text. Text means I will change the text of the score variable. You can actually change the text of that score variable it was 0 by default. You can actually change the text by just doing text, and then inside that I can just do score. Okay, sorry, text is not a function, sorry. So we need to set the value of that text to score. Okay, so we can just set the value of that text to the score. Now if I run the game and if I go into that specific one, then it crashes. It crashed. Why? Because it crashed right over here, because score is a number but text is an string. Okay, so we are trying to change the text of that score, so we need to make it also text. So in order to do string, we can just wrap it with str, easy like that, and it should not give us that error. And as you can see, the score increased. Okay, pretty cool. Now what I'll do is go into our screen, and if you see this coin, for this coin also I will create a node, so I can store my all of the coins, not the coins, and I will place this coin right inside here. And what I can do is Control D, just duplicate that coin and put it over here, Control D, and duplicate it over here. I'm just putting it randomly, guys. Control D, like this, D like this, D like this. Control D means duplicating. You can also do Control C and Control V. Okay, so I just place it all over there. Now we go back into our game. As you can see, all of the coins we should be able to collect 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 8 and 9 and 10. So this is how we can actually collect all of the coins inside the screen. I think we had 10 coins, maybe. Yeah, it's actually same. So we had 10 coins, we could actually collect all of the 10 coins. So now what we need to do is we need to download this coin. Okay, this coin effect. You can download it from Pixabay. I have already downloaded it. So now what I will do is I will go over here, go into this coin effect, which I just created just now, and drag it inside my unable to write. File is used locked lacking permissions. Okay. I think I have played the song. Okay, sorry for that. That folder didn't have any permissions. I think now it should work. Okay. Okay. Now I think, okay, there it is. So if you see over here, when I click this one, and if I double click this, then I can play the sound. Okay, pretty good. So what I need to do is I want it to play the sound whenever I collect that coin. That's pretty cool, yeah? So for audio, what we can do is source audio over here, audio stream player 2D. And I think I placed it inside the coin, which I don't really want to do it. So I will just place it right over here. So not inside coins. So coin collect. So this is a coin collect sound. So if I click on this one, then as you can see, there are a lot of things going over here. You can just click, create a new audio stream, and then give a resource. But instead of doing audio stream, we can just go here and go on load and click our coin. Okay, so it will play that coin thing whenever we just do that. Okay, so pretty cool. Now what we need to do is go back to our let's say we have a lot of scripts, but we will be going into counter, and we need to do something known as so we need to instantiate the coin collect node. So let me just remove the space over here. Coin collect node. So add it on ready var audio or coin audio. I need to give coin audio, but for that I need to put it inside the score because I need to access coin collect, so I need to keep it inside my score thing. Okay, So coin audio equals to what I will do is dollar coin collect. Now I can just access this coin collect and do a lot of things over here. So as you can see, it's inside the score because we are modifying everything inside the score script. So after the score, before the score is increased or after the score is increased, we can just do the coin audio, and it has a lot of things you can use, but we will be just doing the play coin audio dot play, that's all. So now let's go, let's see. Mm, as you can see, it's actually increasing, pretty cool. um, yeah, and we have collected 10 of our coins. So yeah, we have done a lot of things. Now some things are still remaining. Okay, so whenever our player collects all of the screens, what we want to do is we want to make a you win skin. Let's say like you won the game, like that type of scene. So we will be creating another scene. We have been playing with this specific level.escn, but now we will be creating another scene. Okay, so this one would be for, let's say like game one scene. Okay, so this is for game one scene. And what I really want to do in game one skin is, I don't really have a lot of idea, but what I will do is I will just make a label and just say here, you won the game, something like that. Okay, nothing very fancy, just I want to show you guys how to load other scenes also. Right now our scene is being loaded, but if I want to run this specific scene, then I can click on this button. So as you can see, it will just show you won the game, like that. Okay, and that one is for if I game on a scene, and let's create another scene for game lose scene. So that one would have like level, and then I'll put it over here, game lost, you lost the game. No, I will just say you lost. That's the most awesome one. Okay, so I have you lost, and it's not in the center, but who cares? Okay, so yeah, you lost, and yeah, now what I need to do is I also need to create two buttons. So now I need to create two buttons. So butto and button, this one. Okay, and button is right over here. The button is not so much fancy, but we could create fancy button, but for this course we will be sticking with the default button. So this will be like retry, like that. And yeah, retry button over here, and I will also name this one retry. Okay, and after that I think I would have another button for quitting the game. Okay, but if you just won the game, then you can just you can just if you just won the game, then you can just quit the game. Sorry, why am I typing quit over here? Button, and inside button I can just give it quit. So players can quit the game when they won the game. When they lose the game, they have an option to retry or just quit. So what we are trying to learn over here is loading the scenes and all of those things. Okay, so yeah, what I will do is I will go back to our level scene, because once you collected all of the coins, let's say you have 10 coins, and once you collected all of the 10 coins, I will just scroll these two scenes. Once you collected all of the 10 coins, then what we need to do here is in the score counter, uh, what we need to do here is after it increases the score, after it picks the last coin, we need to check if our score is equals to 10. If our score is 10, then we won the game, right? So yeah, we won the game. Now how can we just say we won the game? Okay, we need to actually change the scene. Okay, so in order to change the scene, we need to move to the another scene called game one scene. So to go to that, we need to use this function called get tree, and inside that get tree we have something known as change scene to change scene. I don't think so. It's backed or something like that. No, change scene, and that inside the change scene, we need to give it a path. So let's see. For let's see, one, we can just drag it and drop it over here. Double quotation. So now it will actually change to the game one scene. Let's see what happens. Okay, I collect the first key. So let me just okay. Okay, there's a problem like non-existence. Okay, I think they changed the function. Sometimes I also get confused. Change scene to file. Yeah, sorry for that, guys. I sometimes write code of Godot 3 sometimes. Okay, you won the game like that. Okay, but so I actually want to put some delay to it. So how can I create some delay? In order to create some delay, I can just create a timer over here. I'll just do something like var timer, and I can just do timer dot new. So it will take little time in order to change that scene to another scene. So yeah, pretty good. So and I will add that timer to child, so it will timer will be added over here, guys. Okay, so it will add that timer to there, and what I need to do is timer dot wait time. I think wait time, I need to give it a wait time. So what I will do is like point five seconds, something like that for wait time, and just do something like timer dot one shot and I have to pass true to it because our timer need to be one shot, and I can do is timer dot start. Okay, timer dot start timer dot time. Okay, timer dot start. So it will start the timer. Now what I need to do is I need to await, because it's an asynchronous function. If you know about asynchronous programming, then you might know it, but if you don't know, then we just waiting for timer to time out. So after we are just waiting timer to time out. Once it has been timed out, then we can launch this one. Okay, so now let's run it. Hmm, I have to play this game again. Okay, so it took little time, so you can actually modify how to work with it. Okay, so now in quit also, we can quit our game through the help of game on screen. So if we go into game on screen, then we can also attach a code to this one and then just do a quit thing. Okay, so for quitting the game, I can just attach a script to it, and it's pretty easy. Quit our game, we have to go to the quit.gd, the script which we created, and then we have to go to the signal And as you can see, we have a press signal, so we can go into quit and just connect it there. And what we can do is get tree, but this time we are quitting it, not create, not going to another scene. So yeah, let me just run it, not the main one. I will just run this scene. So if I hit the quit, then it closes my game. Okay, pretty normal. And if I go for game lose also, I also have quit over here. So for this quit, we can also add as another script. Quit, and I think it worked. Did it work? I think it acts. It attached the script which was previously created, but it is actually not quitting my thing because I haven't connected it signal. I have used the same script, but I actually need to connect it. I am actually using the same script. Okay, guys. Yeah, now it's quitting it. So I'm using the same script quit which I made it for game one and game lose and doing the same. Okay, now after that, um, yeah, in game one I'm doing that. Okay, sorry, in game lose I am doing that and it's working. And in retry, what I need to do is I need to create another script for retry. And what I will do is, I think you guys know what I will do here, as I will just connect it to itself. And what I will do here is I will launch the scene next to it. So I will just do get free, and then I will just do change scene to file, and I will go for the label. Okay. So whenever I hit the retry button, it takes me to the main game. So when I hit retry, as you can see, it takes me to the game. Okay. And when I hit quit, it quits the game. Now, after we have done all of these things, we need to make a mechanism to lose the game. So we need to actually create a timer in order for um our player to collect all of these coins. Uh, but it is not that hard game, but you guys can obviously create a hard game. For that, I will just create a timer here. Timer. Okay, pretty cool. So I have a timer. So whenever this timer times out, let's say like this timer have wait second of, let's say like 20 second. In 20 second, do you think we can collect all of this? I don't know. Okay, so yeah, in 20 second, I will put auto start also, and it is also one shot, so only one shot. Timer finished, and then whenever it times out, then I will go. Let's go to another node. Like, I can just connect it to itself, but it is saying it is not a valid target. So I will just go ahead and connect it to the player. So whenever the timer times out, then we just quits the game. Okay, simple as that. So we just quits the game, but before quitting the game, I will just go um, into score counter because we implemented a logic to change the scene. So I will just copy that, guys. Okay, and then go into player, and whenever the times out, then what I want it to do is I want it to set another timer and then time out that timer and then just give me game lose. Okay, so game lose.tscn. Okay, pretty cool, right? So I'm actually getting all of these things, but what I will do is I need to actually create a timer in order to show the time in the screen. So what I will do is I will go here and just search for a label, and this label will be time timer. Okay, timer. Yeah, I will put this timer inside this time, and okay. So this is a label, and inside that label we have an actual timer. So what I will do is I will attach a script for this one for the timer, and what I can do is I can just do add on ready and var then our timer, we can just instantiate our timer. We can just instantiate this timer over here, and I just instantiate it over here. Okay. Okay. So after that, what I can do here is for this timer, I will set the value of this timer into this timer level. So what I will do here is I will just do text, and inside this text, what I want to do is get the value from this timer, timer dot, we have something known as time left. Yeah. So timer.timeLeft will be assigned to that one. We have to convert it into a string because we will be getting the same error which we got last time. Now, if I do this, before doing this, what I will do is I will go ahead and set as this one and put this timer right over here, okay, on the right side of the screen. So as you can see, our timer is actually running, and let's see if our timer really runs. Oh, I'm running out of time. I think I will lose the game. See, I lost the game because I didn't complete it in the time. I will do a little bit fast this time. I think I should find the best part in order to. Okay. Hey, I won the game. Okay, pretty cool. Okay. Now we have done a lot of things, but as you can see, whenever I run the game, the timer is very long. Like it is giving me the decimal points also. I don't really like that one. So what I will do is I will in before converting it into a string, I will convert it into an integer. Okay. So whenever I convert it into an integer, it will just remove all of the point numbers. That's the easiest. Okay. As you can see, the timer is running. Okay. Pretty cool. But yeah. Mm, I have one last thing to do here. That is go into, let's say, here the score counter, and whenever our it reaches 10, then we have another 0.5 second wait. So whenever, let's say, our player is 0.5 second only near the timer being timeout, so at that time he might lose the game because there's another timer waiting for 0.5 seconds. So what we can do here is we can obviously do other things here, but I think this is pretty cool. We don't actually need to have a timer over here. We can just stop the timer over here also. In order to fix that, what we can do here is I will just change the name of this timer, like timer time left. I will just name it as time left, and let me just put it over here also. And let me go back to my let's say, like, the score script, score counter. So that 0.5 second could be little problem. So what I will do is I will just do is get node. I can use get node also, and here I need to provide a node part. But what I will do is I will just name the node like time left. So that is our node. And this one also, I think I will just put it on ready for time left equals to, and like that. And after my, when my score gets, let's say, 10, what I will do here is dot, mm, I will just stop that timer, I guess. Stop. But let's see if it works actually. I don't know if it will give me some error. Okay, there are some errors. That's score counter node time left is not okay. So it is saying we are not finding any. Okay, sorry guys. Here, while instantiating, I have to go to root and go inside label. Label is our this node. Inside that node, we have another node called timer, and inside that timer node, only we have time lapse. So root is this whole, and inside root also we have to go inside level, and inside level we have to go inside timer, and inside timer we have to go to the time left. Okay, so yeah, let's refresh and hope it doesn't give us any error. Nothing is an error. And let's check out the game. I think I'm very new at this game. Uh, wow! You won the game. I actually won the game by 0.5 second, I guess. So I guess it actually works, guys. So whenever I collect the 10 of those, then it actually works. Now I need to check another time, and that check just to see if I lose the game. Okay, so in order to lose the game, I can just roam around here. You see a lot of trees I have. You can actually make a maze out of it. So you can just make a maze so they can go ahead and collect all of those items from that maze. And if it is not working, then yeah, we have got a problem. Okay, so yeah, this is it, guys. And I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. And I hope you guys like this video. Thank you for watching. And just suggest me, what should we create next game? Maybe Flappy Bird, maybe we could go for 3D games. It's all your ideas. Okay, thank you for watching.